This morning we were saying that wellness is not growing enough, or salon industry is not growing enough. Maybe it's in India. Globally, it's a $3.4 trillion industry. $3.4 trillion industry, and not only just one segment of wellness, but entire segment of wellness which called aging services, fitness kind of activities, salon, spa, and now the new concept is coming, the wellness real estate, which is the wellness hotels are coming up. So all this put together is a 3.4 trillion, and out of it, $500 billion industry is a wellness tourism, which means people travel from one country to other country to seek wellness services. It's a $500 billion industry. It's pretty big industry. We haven't participated well. I'm referring to India, that we haven't participated very well. Especially I would refer to this slide. If you see that the wellness tourism has grown a lot in USA, in Europe, a big part in Asia. It hasn't reached to full potential. So today I'm going to discuss that why wellness hasn't reached to full potential. In order for me to explain you that, I need to explain you basically what is wellness and why, what are the key components and factors and drivers of the growth of wellness, and how you can develop your business, and then we can come to our panel discussion, which is what is innovation and 2.0, the new startup, brand, and all these things. So this is a conclusive session, and we'll try to bring all that information in very basic slides. In India itself, the wellness is not a small industry. If you see that, it's a 1 lakh crore industry in India. It is actually growing by 15 to 70%, and it has a growth objective of 20-24%. And I think so once the government puts the efforts in wellness tourism, and if we all think about and start more wellness activity, it can really grow with the 20-25%. Alone, Ayurveda is around $50 billion industry, 50 billion Indian rupees industry in India, and alternative medicine is 160 to 180 billion rupees. It is a big industry, by the way. I mean, you might have not seen much of the activities happening in the wellness, but it's a very big industry across the globe and India as well. So why wellness is growing across the globe? It's very important for us to understand. 5% of world's population is under depression right now. 350 million people are suffering some mental disorders. And modern medicine cannot treat depression and mental because it's more about well-being. If you have to come out from the depression, a medicine will not help you. Medicine might add to something, but a comprehensive well-being, wellness approach will help. And that's the reason why we see that more and more people are opting for the wellness therapies, because the kind of lifestyle we are living, the stress is one of the big factor. Second big important thing is that we are getting richer actually. The whole world is becoming richer. We are around 25 million millionaires in the world. Would you believe it? 25 million millionaires are there. And if you see that India also ranked in one of this list, and we have huge number of upper middle class population, which is willing to spend money on the wellness. This cartoon says that, a pharmacist says that the common side effect of this medicine is that you will lose your disposable income. Simply, what is happening that we are earning more, but we are spending more on the medical treatment and medicines. With the lifestyle condition, diseases coming. Instead, now, if we bring the education, I am very sure that people would love to spend more on the wellness rather than on medical treatment. Why? Because when you go to, imagine yourself going under CT, MRI, how would you feel it? Or imagine you going under Ayurveda treatment or spa or wellness therapy, how would you feel? So it's a great feeling, well-being, which wellness give it to you. So if you can maintain your health through wellness, you would prefer maintaining through wellness rather than through medical services. And it's a nice thing, that I think it's a stress, this zebra losing stripes. So sedentary lifestyle, environmental changes, the wars, destruction which is happening, all these are causing severe damage to our health. And health, how they define health? They define health as lack of disease or lack of disorders. like some disease or some problem in your body. That's why they define health. But wellness is defined as perfect balance of your mind, body, soul, your intellect, your physical status, and your spiritual system. So all this put together, the well-being plays very important and better role. Why I think that wellness is solution? Because wellness is comprehensive. It talks about entire well-being. It doesn't talk about just health aspect. It just doesn't talk about the medical aspect. And also wellness is associated with lifestyle. So when you go through wellness, you basically change your lifestyle. There are various therapies in wellness. I'm not going to discuss much, but I'm just going to bring this slide to you that if you want to start wellness business, now you might ask, wellness is a very big area. Which area is highly potential? Which is the area which is doing really good? So one segment, healthy eating, nutrition, diet, and weight loss kind of segment. So globally, it's a $500 billion industry. Fitness, another $500 industry. Beauty and anti-aging, you can see that, $1 billion industry. One thing I want to tell you, when I travel to Europe and USA, I see salons are completely reformed there. And they do not actually represent themselves as a salon, but they represent themselves as the centers of anti-aging and beauty and other activities more than salon. So salon is just part of the style activity which they do it, but they bring so many innovative wellness solution so that their anti-aging business is growing. We will be talking in the 2.0 also some of those innovative ideas, but I'm just saying that you stop thinking about just salon business and start incorporating some of the great ideas of the anti-aging treatments and some other element. Then there are personalized preventive healthcare, there are complementary and integrated and alternative medicines which you can incorporate in your existing business, no matter whether, even if you are in a wellness industry or salon industry, you can easily integrate these wellness solutions in your business, and you can also participate in this part of 3.4 trillion industry. This slide is the wellness 2.0. We will be discussing some of this point, but this is what you have to focus. There are various wellness areas where you can do business, obviously starting with the spa and wellness centers. Now there are wellness hotels concepts are coming. Across the globe, there are so many wellness hotels which just focus about the wellness activities and they do nothing. And if you look at the tourism pattern right now, many tourists are exclusively traveling for the wellness activities. So the places which offering the wellness activities, tourists are willing to go there. There are dedicated therapy centers across the globe. Wellness application and mobile application and web applications are growing. We will talk about that as well. Future of personalized wellness is going to happen. Today we are talking in general wellness, but in very soon we will be talking about the personalized wellness, and we will also be discussing some of the key strategies to how to develop your wellness business. So we have already talked about the product, we have already talked about the market, how to identify your target market, how to provide them the solution which will work for your business, and then we have also talked about the brand. So I would like to go to our, with this I would like to go with our panel discussion. I will leave this slide. If you would like to connect with me to discuss more about the wellness, you are welcome. But let's start the discussion about the wellness 2.0. And I have Mr. Ashish and Mr. Ankit with me as well. So I will start with you, Ashish, that we know that wellness is growing across the globe, and I just shared figure with you that it's a $3.4 trillion industry, and we also know that there are some good innovation happening and new brands are coming. So could you bring some brand names and brand ideas which are doing very good in the wellness segment? Take this one.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so basically, and I'll show a video after I introduce the brand as well. I think as we see, people don't say that we are here to open a beauty parlor. They say we're here to open a salon. So, in essence, things are changing. There's a transition happening from a beauty parlor to a salon. Now, what's the difference? The difference is primarily, I think things are getting more sophisticated, and as the concept of wellness, so it's not only beauty anymore, it's now beauty and wellness, right? Which is catching on very quickly into this industry. So that's the reason why, you know, there are brands that are coming, there are services, rituals being created, which kind of take into account the wellness aspect of it. For example, you know, as a company, we believe in launching products and brands that solve a problem or that lead to genuine wellness, health. You know, there's a brand called Olaplex that we've just launched. It's a patented ingredient from the US. It's the newest thing on the market right now. It's insurance for hair, right? I mean, it sounds funny when say there's something called insurance for hair, but there actually is now. Because when we go to salons, when we go out, we do, even when you blow dry your hair, when you do heat styling, when you do any of the chemical services, keratins, colors, and all the chemical services that exist in the salon environment, you're actually damaging your hair because the bonds of the hair break. So somebody out there, a gentleman called Dean Crystal in the US, he went and told his chemist, who was actually responsible for curing cancer, and he said, is there anything that can prevent that damage from happening? Because people still love to color their hair, people still like to do all the chemical services. And then that's how this ingredient came across, which is Olaplex, which is actually hair insurance. You know, that kind of insures your hair against the damage from the chemical services. And it's the only product of its kind. So that's like a true example of how we're moving from beauty into wellness, because there's no cosmeticity in this product. It's pure hair care, it's actually redefined hair care. You know, then there's a lot of other products that we're launching that is to do with hard water minerals, to do with issues and the mineral deposits on the hair that are caused from the shower that we take every day, which don't really, can't be taken off using a normal shampoo or a conditioner. So there's a specialized products for that. So definitely things are moving in that direction where, you know, people are more going to a salon, not just for the beauty aspect of it, but the genuine wellness aspect, be it hair, be it skin. On skin, we've got a brand called Babor. Babor, there's a whole range of Dr. Babor that's to do with treatments for the skin. So no, it's not like a brand that will give you the ultimate glow after a facial. No, it's about the real experience of healthier skin. It works on all the layers. It, you know, takes off all the toxins. So it's more about healthy skin, which is again wellness. It's not about I want to look good. It's about I want to also feel good and have healthier skin. That gives me the confidence to go forward in life.
Let's ask Ashish. Ashish, what do you think? So the role of innovation right now in current wellness industry happening, and do you have any idea about some innovative products or even the startups? Because you know, we talk India startup is supported heavily. So I think so in wellness area there would be some startups. So just put a light on it, that what is the innovation in startup right now in wellness?
Sure, I'll give my quick background and I'll then talk about what Prem has been asking here. So I'm an engineer by education, and I kind of find myself in a slightly different industry than what I had ever thought. So we started looking at this industry around 6 months back. This is actually my third company, and the other two companies were either selling technology or we were using technology quite a bit in one of the industry. When we started looking at this industry, you know, besides the fact that in general the adoption of the technology is very low right across in the entire wellness industry, whether you call it salons, spas, alternate therapy centers, or fitness, anything like that. But more than that, you know, there are two different data points that I'll talk about here. Number one, when we looked at the top 70 cities, which is like a population of 1 million plus, so 10 lakh and above. So top 70 cities in India has approximately the outlet count, the wellness outlet count of around 1.5 lakh odd. And the largest salon on the wellness chain has around 500 outlets. To us, actually, it looked just plain wrong, and the man who owns those 500 salons is sitting right there, and I think has created a beautiful business by creating those 500 outlets. But I believe, you know, in general, it's very lopsided for a country of our size. That's the number one point that I'll talk about. The second data point that when we looked at was the fact that if you look globally, the people spend approximately $30 per annum on their beauty and wellness spends. In India, it is approximately $5 today. And even though it is growing at a CAGR of 20-25%, it is nowhere near even the other Southeast Asian countries where, as comparable to what we have seen in other consumer industries. So as an example, China spends approximately $30, Malaysia spends $40. So these were the 2 points when we looked at it, we were like, there's something utterly wrong with in this industry. And so while there's a clear disadvantage of us not belonging to the industry until 6-8 months back, but there's clear advantage that when we looked at this industry, there are many small businesses and maybe a few mid-sized businesses. There isn't really a large business as such. And so what does somebody do so that, instead of trying to create more such small businesses, one can create a large business? So, when we looked at the opportunities, potential, and the innovation that Prem is talking about, we could identify 3 areas really. Number one area is exactly comes from the data point that there are approximately 1.5 lakh outlets, and the largest outlet chain has around 500 outlets. So what can you do to ensure that you become the largest player with significantly more outlets than what the number one player today has? So clearly, hey, do you know more than what Naturals knows or VLCC knows? And I will be a fool to actually think like that. So hey, what can you do to ensure that you, in spite of not belonging to that industry, and what can you do so that you organize this highly unorganized industry in a way that it is you can create value for the consumers. So that's number one, and there are multiple ways one can look at this. One is that what you could do is that you could actually start building tools and offerings for the merchants, for the unorganized players, so that you can better help them organize it and start passing that advantage to the consumers. So that's number one area. The number two area is, I've been here for the last couple of hours, and I've been talking to people and listening to the sessions where people have been talking about multiple products. And hey, great, until 8 months back, just to give my personal example, the only beauty service that I had taken was a haircut, that's it. When my wife is fortunately a lot more aware about the beauty industry, she has purchased a lot more products. So when I looked at it, hey, in spite of there being so many products, the product discovery right now is such a painful problem. How can one solve that problem? That's another disruptive problem that I think, which basically is begging for a solution. And I'll tell you, give an example of another industry, just to kind of illustrate that what can potentially happen. There's a very interesting company called Tea Halt. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. This is a company where basically it says that, hey, we as Indians love our tea. But in general, there are only 3 or 4 kinds of tea that we drink. In reality, there are thousands of teas which are available out there. So how can you basically know that which is the tea that you want to drink? And and this is the company which basically took up this task, and they sell right now, through their website and through their applications, approximately 2,500 brands of tea. And the way they have solved this problem is very innovative. What they have done is that they have used analytics in a big way. What they start with is that saying that, hey, they have segmented the tea market into multiple palette types, and they said that they'll let you try the first tea 3 times before using their algorithm to figure out what is the kind of tea that you kind of like. Yeah. Similar logic is something that which can be applicable for the products market here as well. So instead of just showing up on the shelf that, hey, this is the product that the stylist is selling, hey, is there a significantly better way to sell that? That's the second one. The third innovation that I see is what I kind of call as a lot more of blue ocean. So on one hand, what you could do is that you could basically think about newer services. And as an example, I'll give you one example of a company in the US called Dry Bar. All that they do is that sell blow dries only. They are a company which is valued today at around $450 million. So purely, the only business that they do is blow dry, that's it. And this is a company which came into existence around 4, 5, 6 years back, and they are already a large company there. So that's, that's one service. So while, India as a country, we have seen lot more salons and small businesses which actually sells every service under one roof. Maybe I'm challenging that maybe that is the wrong strategy. You will only keep getting that incremental benefit. Is there a provision to kind of come up with a more specialized retail outlet? That's the question that I'm asking. The another angle is, and my brother is a dermatologist. So besides ensuring that I don't lose further hair, I have a very nice discussion with him, thinking that, hey, what is, when you look at beauty and wellness, the lines have been blurring. That, what is beauty, what is care, what is cure? Can you look at all of these three in a more consolidated way? And what, as an example, I'll give you the example of this company called Kaya, right? So Kaya, I think they started on a very positive note. They probably have gotten confused between what is care and cure, but is there a way to do a Kaya in a different way? That's another innovation. So all of these industries, when I look at it, while there is a angle of what you can do on the services side, but what can you do with the existing infrastructure? And as a country, and if you look at this event has been organized by Franchise India, and if you go to their website and if you look for franchisee opportunities, you'll see probably that the salons and spas are one of the largest, which means that there's abundant supply. So instead of creating a new supply, new service, new product, can you look at the existing infrastructure and think about innovative ways to kind of aggregate it and make it meaningful for consumers? So that's what I would think.
Absolutely agree on this innovation point, and it's really relevant when you talk about the blue ocean strategies. And on that particular point, I just want to add one thing that I have seen across the globe. There are spa centers within the hospital. So then more and more spa centers are coming in the hospitals, and there are clinics coming in the spa centers. You would see a lots of, if you travel abroad in Europe especially, you see that those thermal spas and other kind of spa which you have. There are clinics with the doctor sitting and looking at your chronic conditions and providing you treatment and all. And also, you will see some clinic and spa combination in salon also. So the innovation is to probably mixing these concepts and also probably launching a web application or mobile application together, or selling your own products, or you have to bring some innovation or value to your brand if you really want to have a sustainable business. Do not forget that you are in a wellness industry, you are here to contribute. The ultimate objective in wellness industry is to provide that well-being factor to your customer. That's the ultimate objective, because that's the well-being which will make you sustainable, which will make you more profitable, and which will take your brand to great length.